Okay, here's the tank as it stands right now. There's 45 gallons of actual seawater in this. It's a 110-gallon tank, but the sand and the rocks takes up quite a lot of it. I'm running my power heads for the first time. I've got two Coralia 3s pushing 850 gallons per hour and two Coralia Evolution pushing 1400 GPH each. The Evolutions are on a timer, so I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't getting too much of a sandstorm. I've got the constant-ons are this one right here. That's one of the Coralia 3s. And the other one is back down here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's pushing a pretty strong current out through this little gap here. And the other two are on a timer. Again, here's the first 1400, and I've got these on a 10-second timer. This one's off right now. Let's see if it'll kick on. There it goes. And then the second one is also hidden, and you can sort of see it back up around the corner here. And not really. It's just being covered by the water surface. But you can see when it's on, it pushes out a pretty good flow right through this section right there. So here's the sand bed. It's the Tahitian Moon Black. It's pretty good fine sand. It's got a nice sparkle to it. White stuff you see on there is just leftover calcium carbonate from the rocks. When I was putting in the salt water, it kind of washed off all that calcium carbonate there. So I'm going to have to clean that. But it looks pretty good. We'll see how well it does once it ages up a little bit. And like I said, this is 45 gallons that's in here right now. And you can tell it's pretty full already. You know, there's probably about 5 gallons that needs to go into the reef-ready overflow, and then everything that's going to be down in the sump, which is right here. As you can tell, nothing's been done yet. Sump's still dry. But the first section is where the overflow comes in. Hits this section right here. I don't know if I'm going to use that sock or if I'm just going to use filter floss. Right underneath it I can put in pretty much anything I want, some Purigen or whatever. And then down underneath here I've got some sintered glass rings, but I can use Rock Rebel, anything like that. There is my protein skimmer. That's a Marine Land protein skimmer. It's rated for 100 gallons. I could use a bigger one if I can, but this one seems to work pretty well. As you can tell, my clearance is pretty tight there. I have to unscrew the skimmer head and be very careful when I'm taking that out to clean. This section here is going to be the Refugium. I'm just going to do probably a mild sand bed for some macroalgae in there, maybe a little Rock Rebel. And I move this. That is going to be my return section right there. You can see I've already marked out from when I had this tank running before, the normal level, the high water level, so I know pretty much where to keep things filled next time. I've got a 2 little fishies phosphane reactor. Obviously none of this is turned on yet. I may use this for phosphane, I may use this for biopellets, I haven't decided. As you can see, I've already purchased the things for the extra parts for the biopellets and those in place. And there is my bulk reef supply reactor as well. That's what I used to use for GFO. Probably still going to use it. I still need to mount that, obviously. And the lines for the GFO and for the 2 little fishies reactor are probably going to head over into the Refugium area there. I've got my filter sitting over in, my heater sitting over in the first section, because I know a lot of people like to put it in the return. I don't really like to do that, just on the off chance that something terrible happens and the return runs dry. Then you've got your heater exposed, which nobody really wants to do because that'll crack and explode. So I keep it where there's a constant amount of water. Even if everything was to turn off, that thing would constantly be submerged. There you have it so far. I'll be adding the rest of the water this evening and tomorrow. I've got 15 gallons more I can add tonight, and then the rest I'll bring home tomorrow. And once I get my impeller for the new return pump, I'll go ahead and get that hooked up, and we should be cycling by this weekend.